Michael, thank you very much for joining us on this Northwest 200 podcast. Can you describe your love affair with this event?
It's dead simple, really. I think it's always been, and it was with my dad as well. Like, my dad just speaking about it all the time at home. I never came over here till '92. He wouldn't let me, and I can see why now, because I think it was all the parties he had and everything kept me out of the way. But I heard so many good things about like the Northwest and just all the people, the crowds and everything. And when I came here, it was fantastic. I think we had good weather as well, and I was out on my 250, and I just loved it from the word go. And I think because of my dad's involvement over the years and my dad's success, and I had quite a bit of a following already straight away. And I've always enjoyed the coming to the Northwest, and you stop at the Anchor as well, and it used to have some real good fun, and I've enjoyed every minute of it.
And you've had unbelievable success here as well. You're the third most successful rider in the history of this event now.
Yeah, I was to win a race at the Northwest. It's hard, especially those last chicanes coming down the coast road and that. And I've been lucky. I've had some real good bikes, some real good teams. I've rode against some fantastic people. Looking back over the years, Joey Dunlop, Robert. It's some real good battles as well, with Ian Simpson, my teammate as well, and with Honda. It's just going back. There's just so many people. It's incredible.
Yeah, special memories to have raced alongside the likes of Joey Dunlop. I'm sure who's an absolute icon still here in Northern Ireland and revered around the world.
Yeah, the times I've raced with Joey, and like Joey's come up to me and at a place like the Ulster Grand Prix and offered me his bike, to race, and to have someone, I used to watch him obviously race against my dad, and he was racing against me, and we had some good laps at the TT of the year, unfortunately before he got killed. But Joey was just fantastic. He was just to follow him as well, and it was so neat and tidy. It was just effortless for him, to race a bike.
And how proud are you to have followed in your dad's footsteps? I'd imagine he's had obviously a huge impact on your career.
Yeah, like obviously I went everywhere racing with him. Went to the Isle of Man TT, British Championships, and all that. But I never came to the Northwest. But he said to me when I started racing, he said, "Go away and go and do each track as you can. Do like the Northwest 200, the TT, do British Championship, all the circuits, and try and do everywhere. And then there's always get you a job doing something." Which he was right, because I'd have a BSB or British Championship, I'd have a bad year, I'd have a good year on the roads, and then vice versa, it'd go the other way. I'd have a terrible year at the roads and then go back and do well at BSB. So he did. He taught me everything, taught me to enjoy the self in the rain as well. Like a lot of people say, "Why are you so good in the wet?" Basically, my dad just said, if you enjoy something, you normally do well at it. And he drummed that into me. And if it was rain, he said it's a good evener for everyone, and go out and set your bike up a little bit different. And went away and did that. And like he said, just say coming over to Ireland, doing the Ulster Grand Prix in the Northwest. I used to hear him talk about it in the pub when I was sitting there on the floor.
I mean, he had great success at the Northwest 200, obviously, himself as well. What was it like when you equalled and then surpassed his number of wins?
It was weird, really. It was, I think he won 9 races, I think. And obviously, he used to say his race was a lot harder than mine. But,
of course.
But, yeah, looking back at the old videos and that, and it did look a bit scary, especially on the old long straights at the Northwest when they used to go down to university and that. He used to tell me some stories about the tyres coming apart. Like, I know they do now, but I think they were coming apart big style in the early 70s. And yeah, he just loved it.
14 wins. You probably could have had more, couldn't you?
Yeah, so many races where my own stupid fault. I led. I think it was in 2002. I was leading by a long way, and it was raining quite heavy coming to the last chicane. It'd been raining, and the track was dry, and I come into the last chicane, and I just tipped in early. I wasn't concentrating, and I just touched a bit of a damp patch on the inside down. I went, and And I think in the first race, I was leading, and I just touched the white line and just spun up and just low sided me down the road. And I picked the bike up and got going again, but I was nowhere there. And then on another Ducati, I think we had a fuel pump go 2 times. I was leading Philip McCallum, which is an achievement anyway. He was in his heyday, and broke down within a few meters both races. So, but we've all had everyone's had their problems.
Do you often remember the races that you don't win more than the ones that you than you do?
I can't remember anything anymore. It's like it's difficult. It's trouble. It merges, and you try and forget. As soon as you've done one meeting or one race, you try and forget everything and move on to your next. You're always trying to look forward and thinking how you can improve or the bike improve or that. So it gets like shoved back. It's only when you start watching videos or someone says to you, I was standing at that corner or this happened, you go, wow, yeah, and then it comes back to you,
Yeah, and obviously you've had some incredible success at the Northwest 200. And do you remember some of the great highlights? I mean, what have those highlights been for you?
I think doing that 201 mile an hour, we had the factory Honda over here, and I was very lucky to have that. It was miles quicker than anything else out there.
Yeah.
And the aim was that really just keep myself going and interested in trying to do over 200 miles an hour. And I think it was a second lap or something. I got a real good run through station. It was flying, the bike was, and we had Michelin tyres on at the time as well, and they were so grippy on the because on tyres nowadays they make them real hard, so the spin in a straight line when you get up to like 160, 170 mile an hour, they are spinning in a straight line, and the grip off the Michelin, I think we had like 20 Michelin tyres, and they were probing. I had to stop at the bottom of Metropole to test the temperature of the tyre, so they got the right grip. It was just like, we were so lucky that year, and it pushed you through the air. You need that, to push you through to get you over 200 miles an hour with the bikes then in the day, and all the crowd were going mad, and it was just like, wow, it was a massive, like, a real big buzz for me coming into the stadium part as well, into the last bit of the start and finish. It was like, it was, you could hear the crowd.
Yeah, so it's something you specifically worked on to try and be the first person to hit that 200
Yeah,
miles
they've
an
got
hour.
on my pit board, you see. So I said, just tell me when I've got it. But I knew before I got there, because I think it must have been announced. And then the next lap I come through on my pit board, it said it did 201.1, and it felt quick, that bike did. Everyone was going, it's a load of rubbish. It hasn't been done. That was a full factory HRC Fireblade, and I think it was like, well, I know I wrote 2 of them off one day testing, and they said they were like about £600,000-700,000 then a bike. So
An expensive
they were very trick things.
I mean, does it please you still to this day that it was more than 20 years ago, but when people hear your name and they hear the Northwest 200, they automatically say, the first person to do 200 miles an hour?
It is.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many people do remember it, and I still have people come up to me and say that, especially when I'm over here, and yeah, but even I think with my dad's name as well, and I love the people over here. I've always had good time. And they always have good time over here. And I've come here because I enjoy it, and that's why I'm here again this year. It's I had obviously a big accident in the Isle of Man last year, which it's still, I'm still in a bad way now with it, but I'm getting better. I've got a long way to go yet from right anyway. But I want to try and get out and race at the Northwest, and that's my aim.
Just how big a crash was that at the Isle of Man TT, and what kind of damage did you suffer?
Yeah, basically I broke my L2, smashed that into 4 pieces, and I was very, very lucky it didn't, do more damage to me. And I broke my leg, bottom of my leg, my foot, and my wrist, and there's bits and pieces hanging off everywhere. Really, it's knocked me about, and it knocked me out for quite a bit of a time as well. I think mentally wise, it takes you a long time to go, more than I've ever imagined. I think it's probably my age, and I've never had a big crash like that. So It gives me a bit more. I don't know. I used to see people crash, like people like Ian Hutchinson, and John McGuinness, like with his crashing. And when they come back, you just admire them even more, really, and when Robert Dunlop come back, with all his injuries, and my dad came back with his injuries, and you think, now I've had a big one, you think, I'll tell you what, fair play to those people, come back and did well.
Yeah, it makes you almost admire what they did more, does it?
Oh yeah, it definitely. I think I have been lucky through my career. I've got away with, relatively low injuries. I've always tried to. My dad taught me just leave a bit of room, bit of a space here and a bit of space there. But it caught up with me, and it's my own fault to crash in the Isle of Man. The thing run out of fuel, and it caught me out, and I was just looking behind. I didn't want to get in anyone's way, and I've run out off the edge of the track, and my own stupid fault, really. I should have been looking where I'm going, but those are the ones what get you normally.
Did it make you think about quitting completely, or did you always have this inner belief that you wanted to get back out again?
100%. I love race. My racing's been all my life with my dad, me, everything. So no, I've never ever thought, oh, that's it. I was thinking, right, I'll be able to make the classic TT, like no chance. Then I thought I'll be able to make Macau, no chance. And then there's some other meetings have been coming up. And I thought, I'm just trying to get myself fit for the Northwest. I think I've got one out in before. It's only a thing at Goodwood, doing a classic event there, and the rest of the time is looking after Storm, Stacey, and the Bathams AGN team. So I've got no real time for myself, but I'm just trying to get myself fit just so I can race at the Northwest.
Yeah, it'd be great to see you at the Northwest 200. It will also be fantastic to see Storm Stacey come and make his debut. I mean, he seems a character and a fantastically talented motorbike rider as well.
He's like, well, he's just unbelievable. He's how he is as a person. And he came to me, obviously, beginning of last year and said, I'm interested in doing the Northwest. I said, well, come along, with the team and see if you really want to do it. Because he'd never push anyone to do anything. Road racing is dangerous. We all know that, doing the Northwest TT, but doing British Championship, that's dangerous as well. So I said, come along, see what you think, and then let me know. And he came to me, at the end of last year and said, look, I really want to do the Northwest. And I goes, right, brilliant. I said, well, we'll try and do it together. He goes, yeah, fantastic. So it'd be good.
No better person to learn
off.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a lot quicker than me.
Yeah.
But, he picks up things so quick. He's so natural. I've done an interview with a few people and they asked, how will he get on? We've told him, just go out there this year and enjoy it and, ride round, which, he will, because we will make sure of that. But I think as the years go on and he goes through it, I think, on a superbike anyway, I think there won't be, really anyone who'll touch him if he gets to enjoy it and be part of it. He's got brilliant talent.
And are you enjoying being a team manager?
No, not at all. It's hell. It's I get so much enjoyment out of racing, and you don't realise till you can't do it, and you're sitting there watching somebody else do it, and I've got to know Storm real well, and I'm worried for him, as well, and I'm thinking, how can I make that bike the best and the safest it can be, and that's all I try and do. And I have sleepless nights about it. Last night I must have had about 3 hours sleep, just thinking of stuff which can make it better for him and safer for him, and that's my aim. It's nothing's you can't 100% be safe on everything, but we just try and make him a bike what's good and fast and can do the job.